Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Most Epic Adventures. This is a very special episode. This is a live Q&A session with Joey B from Full Terror Assault. Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, Rob, my man. What's up, bro?
All right, we've got a lot going on tonight. You broke some big news this week, but shit, I don't even know where to start, man. There's so much going on with Full Terror Assault. So I'm going to let you just say what you need to say, and then I guess we can ask what we need to ask along the way.
Well, I think the one thing I want to stress is that the FTA we were ready to continue on. I think we were going to be one of the only metal shows, or any show for that matter, going on. We kind of got the luxury of having some private ground and some other benefits, but obviously, there's with Guar that had to cancel and Exodus had to cancel, so things are kind of out of our control. But we were 100%, man. We were a go, but given the fact that those two bands had to cancel, when we all know the situation, there's really no sense of rehashing everything. It's been a brutal year for everybody. It's been challenging, you know what I mean? And it's no fault to any one of those bands at all. It's just, it's just the way it is. So, we had to take it to the people, so to speak, and see what they want to do.
Okay. So last time we talked, we had Azali on here as well. You mentioned that because of the way things are, this is probably going to be more of a USA-based festival, and General Surgery probably was going to make it. So we kind of knew they were going to drop off most likely. So it wasn't a big shock when they were in the announcement.
Yeah, I had talked to those guys before we even, once all this stuff started happening, I kind of had a feeling that, with the travel ban, that they weren't gonna be able to make it. There was just too many problems associated with it. But they're ready to come back next year, and we're working on it. We'll see what happens.
And then so Monday you made that announcement with them and Guar and Exodus, your two big headliners.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is, this all happened real fast. Like I said, we just kind of got this thrown at us here within a week, and obviously I didn't want to put anything out until I got the statement, from those guys, each band, Exodus.
Oh man!
If anybody listens to, the Toxic Vault, he was talking about, actually he was pretty stoked about coming, and I think that was like early June, like June 9th, and I listened to a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. I caught Gary on a podcast, and nothing was really said, so I was kind of curious what was going on, and soon after that, they decided to cancel out, which, like I said, man, it's been a brutal year for everybody. So it's we all know the situation. There's no sense of rehashing everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a lot of people are wondering. You guys sent out the release, and you're asking if people were interested in still going this year, if you were able to do it, or if they wanted to get a refund, or if they wanted to put that money aside for next year.
Yeah.
So
the thing about FTA, man, everybody, we're only 5 years completed. This was our 6th year. We were just getting ready to drop the entire lineup. Everything had been, there was a lot of bands that were going to come out before all this happened. I'm not going to release who those bands are, because we're going to try to get them for next year as well.
Okay.
But we had everything all set up. We had, a lot of different events going on, and the FTA, the people that come to FTA, man, they're pretty hardcore. We don't, we're a smaller festival. We're a DIY independent festival, so the people that come there, they're pretty hardcore, man. It's kind of an organic, it's nothing that that the people that have been there, a lot of them have been there multiple years. So, I was curious to find out, is be enough people out there that want to, still come down and make this happen and have a party and, have a metal show, maybe the only one of the year, or, you want to just wait and see what happens next year. So, we put up a poll and we've got the results, which we can talk about here in a little bit, but,
Okay.
I mean, if anybody's got some questions, we can start filtering those in as well. But, what we were going to do this year, and, we're going to do it next year as well. But, we were going to do a Thursday. We were going to do a Thursday pre-party with, Matt Swisher's the guy who runs Failure Tapes and Records. So we were going to do a failure Thursday pre-party show. That guy had, that's one of the cool things about FTA, man. He's one of a small little independent label over in Indiana. Support that guy for sure, because he's making some truly bad decisions. But he, he had put together, 4 or 5 bands that he really wanted to play, and we worked it out. And the guy was going to throw some money and hand out of his own pocket just to make it happen. I mean, the guys, I mean, he's, there's a lot of people like that. You know what I mean? That they're just want to be a part of it, which is great. So
we got a nice comment from Josh Snover. Can you read that?
Yeah, Josh. I think he's been there all 5 years, if I remember right.
Clowns playing banjos, man. I love clowns playing banjos.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's a lot of people out there that still want to come, and just camp, and it doesn't matter who's playing. But I think, the thing that everybody has to keep in mind that, there's a lot of bands that were playing, even from the East Coast, from Arizona, West Coast, or wherever. A lot of these bands, to get out this way, they've got to, they got to kind of route their, some shows to get here. It's a long drive to do one show, and
right.
That the other thing too is, when you present the hey, you're going to be, Exodus is going to be there, Guar is going to be there, General Surge is going to be there. The decision is, pretty easy for a lot of bands, but once you start pulling those national acts away, I mean, there's still a lot of hardcore bands that that'll play, but you want to have the best. If you're going to put the effort into driving all the way out there and play to a crowd, you want to know. So that's why we kind of did the poll first. I could have contacted all these bands and said, hey, are you in? And I guarantee you probably most of them would have been like, yeah. But, I want to make sure that if bands are going to put the effort in or drive it all this way, hey, who's going to actually show up for this thing? Are you going to be, playing to, half of what we expected or what? That's just out of respect, for the bands that are actually traveling. So,
okay. So, I guess to cut to it, I think people are wanting to know, is there going to be an FTA 2020?
Well,
is FTA 6 going to be in 2021?
There's a lot of votes that came in, and it was about 60-40.
Okay.
60% wanted it to happen, and about 40% were leaning toward the let's postpone this. There's some people that are driving a long ways, and
but I would imagine not very many people were like, you know what, screw this, just give me my money back. Most people were either let's party this year or let's party next year, keep the money, right?
Yeah, I think the general, I think that was pretty much it. I think there was there's some people, that do want their money back, and understandably so. I mean, I've got to, as a matter of fact, truth be told, I've got to refund some money here to some people here this evening because, there's some people that are coming, they're coming from Canada or maybe, maybe there's, you've got some financial difficulties or whatever, it's understandable.
It's a tough time. Yeah. It's a tough time for everybody right now.
I think, overall, I think that, I'd say most of the people just say roll it over. And, the emails that I've seen here personally to the FTA email, it was a lot of people saying, hey, I'm going to buy more tickets, or hey, I'm going to buy some VIP passes. Just don't postpone this. Make sure it happens. But I guess long story short is I just don't see it happening this year, to be honest with you. And it's not because we don't want to do it. I just think that, you just don't know what's going to happen. And people they just don't realize what it takes to flip the switch on for this thing. You know what I mean? There's a
Right.
lot of costs involved. And, and it goes back to what I said before with the bands, we had, it was almost 50 bands we had confirmed, and there were some other touring acts that were, that were coming out as well. And, but, it's like, let's say 60-40, but right now maybe it's 50-50. So, you can't just throw a party, so to speak, and flip the switch on and all of a sudden, maybe out of that, maybe 30% show up. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we're just going to have to, out of respect to everybody. I mean, I can believe me, I can appreciate the hardcore people, because I'm one of those guys that I don't want to, throw the towel in. I really don't. And anybody who's, that has talked to me, I've got a circle of friends here that I've talked to, and quite regularly, and I just don't want to. I don't want to throw a towel in, but the numbers don't lie. When people vote and they want to, 40% of them are saying, hey, let's postpone this. The other 60%, you got to understand that, I mean, I'll be honest, we were, this was the year, in my opinion. We had
Yeah.
we had the best lineup. We had, in my opinion, one of the best thrash bands. We had the best, we had Guar, the best, shock band, or whatever you want to call them. I mean, the other bands that Matt Swisher had booked, they were solid, and I had some other ones that were ready to confirm. And I mean, it was going to be the best year by far, and I mean that not only in bands but also in ticket sales and everything. So I mean, we were doing real well until everything kind of happened there a couple 2-3 months ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and even with that being said, we were still fine if Exodus and Guar would have stayed on. We'd have been just fine. We'd have been just fine. I think it would have been I think it would have been a pretty good statement. Hey, this is the only metal fest that happened in 2020.
Yeah.
We're troopers and stuff. But like I say, man, you can't really fault people for you know uh, not wanting to travel. I get it. You know what I mean? It's some challenging times. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll come back. We'll come back next year. We've already started talking. About what we're going to do next year, and I I think the thing is that what people can do, is like you were saying before. If you really want to, support FTA and
Hmm.
try to make 2021, just the best year ever, which we all do, it'd be great, roll your tickets over to 2021. Keep buying your tickets, um, because I mean that's only going to start us off. I mean, we never know it. We never know it year to year. We start selling tickets. I keep a little notebook. I can tell you almost day to day where I was this time last year and year one, and I just know every year where we're at. You know what I mean? So it's like, it'd be great to start off right now with all these ticket sales leading into next year, and everybody who wants to be a part of it, man, just roll your tickets over and keep buying your tickets and keep spreading the word. I mean, that's really how 2021 can be the best year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no shame in it. All the big European festivals are doing the same thing, and like you said, a lot of these bands that do come play FTA, I know they have to travel and play shows along the way. So,
Yeah,
I get it, man.
the guys from Exodus, I mean, Gary had the coronavirus, for crying out loud. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
yeah,
and he was with the guys from Death Angel. That guy was, he was in a coma. So, I mean,
right.
you got to totally respect the fact that these people, they were a little bit leery of traveling, and maybe also is like the FTA is a whole different scene. So they might be kind of like, well, is this really going to happen? It's like everything else is canceled. Why is this guy, why is he continuing on? But I think I really think that it could have been, it could have been a great year, but next year will be even better. Well.
Well, yeah, people are asking me on my personal, so I can't bring these up. Um, yeah, Zach from Lich King has said he wants to know if they want to play this year.
I've had so many emails, man, from so many bands that say that, hey, we'll come play, and I appreciate that. That's great. I mean, you can, even the bands that I did, kind of reach out to confirm, or even said, hey, I heard what was going to happen, whatever. We're still in. But once again, it's like you want to put on the best possible thing you can put on, and to flip the switch on down there to make it happen. People just don't realize what it takes money wise to, and then, so let's say, the way I looked at it was, okay, let's say 50% of the people are going. Okay, well, if they agree to go, all right, so I can go ahead and keep booking some bands and get the best lineup I can. I mean, there's less than 80 days.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I can't? Obviously, I'm not going to get a band to replace Guar or Exodus. That's just going to be impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So what if I do book some bands and then it's the best I can do? Then maybe some people are still upset, and then all of a sudden they're wanting their money back, and it's just overall. I think the way that everything is, I think it's just best to take this here from this year, all the people that were going to come, the lifers, there was a lot of newbies I know, and just take all that and roll it into next year, and make next year even bigger and better. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I totally support your decision. I completely understand it. There's absolutely no shame in it, man. I know it's got to be a very difficult decision for you. Erica Roscoe. She said, "We love you, Joey."
I've got your feed up on. I've got your feed up on my phone here too.
Okay.
There's some questions there. There was a question about Guar canceling. In respect to Guar, that was worked out. That was a routed date. They were going to be doing. I'm guessing they were probably going to be doing Riot Fest and some shows coming out. So all of their shows around FTA, they got canceled. So
right.
It's a tough time. Nothing to do. I'm sure they wanted to play it, but to take that thing on the road, that whole production on the road as a one-off show is just, it just wasn't in the cards.
Gotcha. Yeah, that totally makes sense. I know last year you had a couple of tour packages stop through with Soulfly and who was with them? Insight and
on Earth.
Cataclysm, and
we had a couple different tour packages last year.
Yeah, and I think that's great for that. That part of the country. Those tours might not have stopped by there, but it was killer as part of a festival lineup. I thought it was pretty cool, man, and I could definitely see how that would affect, like, all the tours are canceled. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. You're not going to get a situation like you had with Grave last year, where they fly in from Sweden for one show and then fly back. Dude, that's fucking. You pulled it off, dude. You're a legend. With all the stuff you've done to make that happen is legendary.
I mean, if you even knew the half of the backstory,
Exactly. I don't even know that much. All I know is that they flew in, they got lost, and they showed up late, but they kicked as much ass as they could.
Well, they played a show. They played a show the night before in Europe. And I told him, I said, man, there is no way you guys are going to make it here and be able to do this, because you're flying, we're 8 hours behind.
Mm-hmm.
They're 8 hours ahead. So it's like, you got to understand, you're not just flying into like Chicago where you can be picked up at the airport and 30 minutes to the venue. I said, you got, you're 2.5 hours. You got a ferry ride. The ferry closes at a certain time. I mean, you're out in the middle of in nowhere, but. Yeah, I don't know, but that, kudos to those guys. They were able to actually get there and pull it off, and they flew back the next day. If you can believe it, that's that brutal.
It's insane.
But
I'll always be legendary, man. That'll always be legendary. It's
yeah,
just the
I've got
fact
it.
that it happened.
Seems like every year I really need to start taking some notes of every little thing that happens every year because it's always something going on crazy, man, for sure.
Well, we've got more than a year until. Are you going to call it FTA 6.5, or are you going to move it to FTA 6, or how are you gonna?
It'll still be. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really even thought about that, whether to call it 6 or 7. I'd call it maybe 5, 6.5, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
6.5. I don't know. But I don't know. As far as I do want to say, as far as everybody rolling their tickets over and stuff like that, we'll post a link here. Give us a few days to figure out, on how to do that actually on Eventbrite. And the people that bought tickets and stuff or their upgrades on PayPal, we'll reach out to you guys direct on an email. But
yeah, I know. I bought my VIP ticket using PayPal.
yeah, and that that's
Yeah.
the one thing I want to say though. The thing about you is that people don't realize it is that last year was your first year, correct?
Yep, and I found out about it. I found out about it from the Toxic Ruin guys because I was
Yeah,
covering the Vakken Metal Battle,
right.
and so I got to meet them out in Los Angeles, and they told me this crazy festival that happens in like a farm somewhere in Illinois with told me about Billy Milano and everything, SOD, MOD and shit, and I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm there, man. It sounds awesome. I'm there,
yeah,
and
that's cool. The cool thing about you was that you I think you had applied. You wanted to become as like press credentials at first,
yeah,
and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to buy a VIP pass. So for me, that
yeah.
was like, man, this guy, he's definitely one of us. So that was way cool, by the way.
Well, I mean, and I've talked about this before with like the numbers. Like you didn't know who I was, and if you look at my social media numbers a year ago, they were pretty small. So I could be just any schmo. So like I understand, like as a business person, you don't want to just give out press credentials to people.
Yeah.
I completely get that, but
Yeah, but
I
you know what?
wanted.
I mean, even if you even like going back, even if you look back, there's our I call him our house photographer,
Mhm,
Mike Lansall. You know what I mean? He was
yeah,
one of those guys the first year that um, just he's been there every year, man. And I actually started paying the guy last year. He's been there every year, and he takes great pictures. And he was one of those guys that just wanted to come take some pictures. I'm like, sure, man. And we met and became friends. And he better not ever miss a year for crying out loud because
it,
he gets really good pictures.
he there were
So we've got a lot of people like that, photographers and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, there were a lot of
but
great photographers taking pictures, and this was something I learned last year. Was I went and I took pictures of every band as well. I'm not a concert photographer. I just wanted to take pictures. I had the camera, and some of the pictures look pretty good, and a lot of people used them as their like Facebook profile picture and stuff. I'm like, fuckers, give me some credit.
yeah,
I didn't watermark any of them. I was
yeah,
just like, yeah, these are my pictures, and they're like, oh, cool, profile pic. I'm like, come on, give me some love, like my page, follow my Instagram, something.
yeah.
You know, I mean, it is
Well,
a picture of them, but uh,
yeah, a lot of people like that, So I mean, from here on out, me and you will probably be friends for life now, man. A lot of people like that, but there's one of the one things that I did want to bring up as well is that we kind of tossing it around. If there was ever a time to do it, next year would be the year. But thinking maybe we'll do another poll here, maybe tomorrow or even maybe starting Monday. But thinking about maybe moving the date up a little bit. We always have it in September, and thinking maybe in June. Start maybe to do it in June. But I'd like to get some feedback on that from everybody. Everybody was real. The comments they made and with the voting for whether to do it or not this year was really helpful. To be honest with you, because I'm just like freaking full steam ahead. Don't stop.
yeah,
Can't stop, won't stop. You know what I mean? But when you see 40% of the people that were like, hey, maybe let's not do it this year, wait till next year, I'm traveling or whatever. So it'd be cool. I'm thinking maybe even like June of next year, where instead of waiting until September, we do it like maybe even this weekend, which would be the weekend before the 4th of July. We'll still do 4 days.
Well, we got our friend Mike Corn says too damn hot.
Yeah, but you know what? It's I think Mike's been there too, a number of years, but I think it's hot in September. The first year was kind of cold, but the thing that I think about in September is that everybody everybody's going back to school. And freaking NFL season starts. It's freaking hurricane season. There's a lot of different things. Which I don't know how everybody feels about it, but I was just thinking, instead of waiting 15 months, we could actually maybe move this up and have it in June. There's a lot more bands. Too hot. So
No, well,
theaters.
I'm not showing him. I don't know why I keep showing him. No, there was somebody that said, oh, there we go.
I mean, just a thought. It's not like we're gonna.
How about 2 FTAs next year?
I don't know if I don't know if I can handle that. As far as stress wise.
Well, I mean, whenever you're gonna do it, I'm gonna, as long as it doesn't. Oh, so yeah, okay. So this is a good point. So Benjamin Earl, he's got kids that friends that have kids at one end. So if you did do it in the summer, it would be easier to for families and stuff to come.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always I'm always thinking of September. It's like is that the right time of year? I don't know. I mean, if there was a time ever to change it, you got, the way I look at it is like, it's always, sometimes it's hard to get like some tour packages that time of year, because everybody's been to Europe and the summer's over and the tours are over. Then all of a sudden they go out again, maybe in October, November. Well, we've been lucky to get some good packages, but
That's true. That is true.
There's a lot of good bands coming through, that we could snag, and I think that would really be good for everyone. But it's hot in September, for crying out loud. I mean, I remember FTA. I think it was FTA 2. Man, it was so freaking hot. It was like 95 degrees, for crying out loud.
I just remember last year poolside at the Flamingo. They all, the singer and the guitarist and the bassist, they don't wear shirts, and the singer, he doesn't have any hair, and he was just a fucking lobster. It was a lobster at the end of that, playing on the failure stage. Like, if there was any way to get some shade on that stage or something, because the other stage isn't so bad. There is the way it's shaded, but like where the failure stage is, there's like the sun is just coming right down on it, and like the convalescents, they wear all that makeup, and they were just oozing, like they were just melting.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to. Like I say, I don't think people understand. I mean, that the campgrounds down there they're huge. There's so many different areas of that campground that people probably don't even know exist. The first year we had 3 stages, and there's actually a beach stage kind of behind the failure stage there. But I'd like to bring that back. I'd like to have a bunch of bands over there, and even open it up to more bands. But it all comes down to you don't want to you want people to see the bands that are there. You don't want too much of a crowd dispersion where people got to make decisions to see some people and see some bands, and it's just over time it'll grow. Maybe 2021 we'll see how that turns out, and we'll go from there. But
so Danny Terry has a question here.
Yeah, they'll both. Everything will roll over. I mean, obviously that any VIPs, any TPs, RIPs, which I recommend keeping those, because I mean those things sold out so quick this year. If you give one out, if you give up a RIP or a VIP or whatever, it's going to be, they'll be gone quick. But I think there's a few VIPs left, but all tickets, everything will, it'll roll over. And like I say, just give us a little bit of time. We've got I think there's an option on Eventbrite to roll it over. but Asley's kind of checking that out. She's my tech guru.
Right on, right
Much,
on,
much appreciated.
right on. Yeah. So Danny's like, dope. I'm in for 2021 and keep our shit. Haha. Cool. Well, so yeah, somebody else asked about the bands. How many of the bands that you had guaranteed for this year said, you know what, we will come back next year?
I only contacted. I didn't contact all of them. I contacted a few of them. And some of them are some friends of mine. That obviously that when Exodus and Guar canceled, they reached out to me through a DM or whatever, and I told them what was going on. But I don't really want to say who the bands that we had confirmed, who they were. I'd like to kind of keep that as a surprise, actually. But obviously,
Fair enough. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, as far as the bands that were going to play and this year, yeah. They were the bands that signed on. I mean, I'm going to ask those bands to come back.
Except for hopefully not Homewrecker.
No. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I haven't had a chance to read up on all that, but
I don't want to delve too much into it. There's some scandal with a couple of the members. A couple of the other members left. The label dropped them. Yeah. The band basically is gone.
Yeah, we had some emails and stuff like that, and like I say, if FTA was going to happen, they weren't going to play. So I mean, me personally, I didn't read everything about it, but I do have some people that I know that kind of were like, "Hey, man, check this out," whatever.
Yeah.
I remember what happened to the decapitated guys. You know what I mean? I do remember that. Where, I just, like I say, this whole deal with the Homewrecker crew, they weren't going to play. I mean, if anybody had any questions about it, that's just the truth. We had discussed it, and they weren't going to be on this year, but.
I didn't want to talk too much about it. I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about anything. I don't care. But that was my feeling of it. You know what I mean? The people that I know that had said something about it. I trust them. Like I said, I don't have time to read every single thing about everybody. I've been
absolutely
last week, but I tend to take things one step at a time. You know what I mean? I kind of was looking at, okay, I understand everybody's work. You got this over here about these guys, but I'm trying to figure out if this is even going to happen this year.
And so Billy Milano was going to be like the MC host of the event.
Yeah, man, Billy Milano. Yeah, so he was gonna come down. He was actually going to come down early, man. And I think he was going to try to spend the week there and maybe get some, just chill out and get some footage. But he was actually going to do some MCing and do like some Q&A stuff. And interview bands and not just the larger bands, but he was going to talk to everybody. Man, he's a riot. He played last year, and the one thing is that he played a set. I don't even know how long it was, but it seemed to go by so quick because in between songs, he's the way he's just he's so funny. It goes by so quick. So yeah. I hope they come back. I'm sure they probably will. So, but I mean, he was. The conversation that I had with Jason, that it sounded like they were still in for this year. So they were all about still coming and playing, which I really appreciate. But I'm sure they'll be back next year. I'm sure Billy would be willing to do all that same stuff. Super good dude.
Very nice. Yeah, that'd be cool. He was a lot of fun last year, so I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Maddie asks, she said, "Liquid Death going to lose out on some souls."
Yeah, cheers to freaking Liquid Death. Like I say, we don't have a lot of sponsors, man. We really don't. We're kind of like a DIY festival, so Liquid Death kind of stepped up, and I mean, anything like that's huge, man. Especially nowadays, where you want to sponsor an event like FTA, which a lot of these events are here today and gone tomorrow. You know what I mean? They might have one and they're gone. So
like Fire Festival.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But hopefully they come back next year.
You gotta tell those Liquid Death people to sponsor me. I sent them. They also sponsor a band called Monarch from San Diego. They won the Vakken Metal Battle USA last year.
Oh.
And Liquid Death just started sponsoring them. So I was like, I sent them an email. I was like, hey man, you guys sponsor Full Terror Assault. You guys sponsor my friends in Monarch. My cat sold my soul. My cat sold her soul to them. So,
Well, the thing about Liquid Death, credit where credit is due. I didn't get that sponsor. Asley got that sponsor.
Nice.
So yeah. So, she reached out to those guys and pieced it together. So,
Well, I would be drinking a Liquid Death right now if they had sent me some.
Right.
My hands are empty, Liquid Death. I need that refreshing Alpine spring water in cans.
Yeah, there's a few cases left down there. Not many.
Yeah. Well, I'll hopefully this will be a different story next year. I'll be all decked out in Liquid Death merch. How about
There you go. There you go.
I'll be Liquid Death man if they I'll get a Liquid Death tattoo if they sponsor me. How about that?
There you go.
I'm talking about getting tattoos.
You were gonna get the FTA tattoo, that's right.
Right. And Fred Hansen threw in $30.
Yeah.
That
dude's all those guys from Florida, man. Those guys would be there regardless. Him and the other crew, man. They might show up down there at the campgrounds just to freaking hang out and camp for the weekend anyway.
Well, okay, so you bring that. That's a good point. So unofficial, there is an Illinois state park in Cave in Rock. That's actually where there's a cave, and they do have camping there. So I would say, if you guys really, really want to go to FTA and you can't go to the Hog Rock Ranch, go to the state park. It's a nice park. Just take some cans of Liquid Death and maybe some other liquid refreshments, and just barbecue and hang out there. Bring some. I know some of you son of a bitches. Somebody, I'm not going to name any names, set up a speaker right in front of my tent and started blasting shit like at 8 a.m. one day. I'm like, motherfucker, there's no need for that.
Where were you at? On top of the hill?
No, I was right behind the failure stage.
Oh,
like directly behind it, with the Camp Grill and Chill guys from Arkansas.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's got any questions they want to throw at me or whatever. But
well, Tony did ask if it's possible to camp at Hog Rock during that week.
Yeah. I mean, it's a campground, so you can go down there and hang out with Hog Daddy Tim and camp and get a TP or whatever you want to do. He's always open for camping down there. I mean, I wish it could go on, but it just can't happen this year. So, but I do want to say, like I say, I want to stress that if you really want to help FTA, roll your tickets over. We're still gonna. You should be looking at that question, but you should be able to roll that over here soon. And like I say, we've got we're gonna put up a poll for switching the date. I don't know how everybody feels about that. It was just an idea that I kind of had yesterday. In regards to the whole, is September really the right month? And maybe we can push it up 3 months and see everybody in 12 months rather than 15, and start a new date for everybody and see what they thought about it. But we'll set up a poll on that. I really want to see what people think about that, to be honest with you, because I know it's hot, but man, it's Southern Illinois. It's going to be hot in June, July, August, and September. I mean, shit. They do an event in October, and I think last year it was like 88 degrees in October, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm in Southeast Texas, man. It's a fucking swamp down here.
Yeah.
So like, even if it is June, it's going to be a 20-degree difference for me. Especially at night. At night, it's nice. It's nice. It'll be nice. So. You know what? We'll just have more topless people running around, and people in their like singlets and stuff like that.
Right.
The wrestling singlets. It'll get messier. You might have to hose everybody down. It might be just a big mud party.
I don't see how it could be any hotter than it was at FTA 2. I mean anybody who was there for FTA 2 was they'll know what I'm talking about. That was probably the hottest year. So,
Has
Now,
it rained? Has it rained? Yeah, because it didn't rain last year, and I'm
yeah,
wondering.
well, see, that's the other thing too. In September, you got to think that that's right about the time of hurricane season and FTA 2. So FTA 1, I mean, I remember all these years like nothing, but FTA 1, it was super cool. It was like the weather was cold at night, and it was really the weather was. I mean, it was almost perfect in the daytime, and then the FTA 2 was so brutal hot, and we had a storm come in, and I mean, it was like it blew in out of nowhere. I think a lightning struck a tree, and I mean, the rains were just torrential rains. I remember Dying Fetus playing, and even Origin playing in the rain. Belfagor was like, it was just so heavy rain, it was out of control. And FTA 3 was brutal hot. I
I
mean,
know that's
yeah, dude. And then I remember FTA 5. It was the same thing. We had a storm come through there prior to the event and blew a couple scaffolding down. I mean, it's a challenge every year in September. You know what I mean? But I chose September. I chose September because everybody seemed to be coming back from the Europe tours and stuff like that. The
yeah.
festivals they were done in August, so I chose September as a way maybe to get a lot of the bands that were coming back over this way to the USA. But I'm thinking maybe June might be a good fit. I don't know. So
Well, long as long as it doesn't interfere with another festival that I might be going to, then I mean, actually, I shouldn't say that. Vakken has already said their date for next year. It's going to be the end of July. So
they're moving theirs up.
no, theirs is always like the first weekend of August. It's usually
Yeah.
last weekend of July, first weekend of August.
Right. Okay.
So it's the same. It's the same. So they're not moving theirs. I'm not sure when like Hellfest and Download and those other ones are scheduled. So you might want to look into that because
Right.
I would rather go to Full Terror Assault, but
Right.
but there might be some people, like I know there were some people that came from Europe to Full Terror Assault.
Yeah. We've had people from Mexico, Canada, Europe. I mean,
But if you have it too close to, I'm just gonna say Hellfest because that's like probably the second biggest one to Vakken.
yeah.
You might. I mean, you probably won't lose a lot since there's not a whole bunch of people that are coming,
Right.
but it still could interfere. It could interfere with some bands, perhaps even
Sure.
that are playing those festivals over there. So
Sure.
those are just things to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, we'll leave it up to everybody that we've got a lot of followers on Facebook, and everybody. That's the good thing, and it's not just my decision. It's how everybody else feels about it. You know what I mean? So
I like people are requesting all these different bands.
yeah,
Yeah, Amon Amarth. That would be pretty sweet. That'd be a big get.
yeah. I would say if you want to see those guys play FTA, buy some tickets.
Buy some tickets. Battlecross you could probably get. They're pretty awesome.
You have to keep in mind. You have to keep in mind that it took 5 years, 6 years of just grinding it out.
Yeah.
To be able to get Exodus and Guar. For a number of different reasons. One, money wise.
And then looking at your past years too, you've had some killer bands, and you've had them like right before they broke out too.
Yeah, and that's just not all for me. I mean, because I don't have I've got a lot of different people that give me advice on stuff like that. So there's a lot. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of bands that that I'd never heard of. People like, oh man, check these guys out. They're freaking awesome, and they'd be great to play. And you can usually tell real quick when you listen to somebody if they're if they're a fit or not.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's been a lot of great bands, man. that have played FTA that seem to move on real quick. There's a few that I wished we could have got earlier. And still haven't got. I've been trying to get a handful of bands, man, for 4 or 5 years. I reach out every year, it seems like, and I just get shot down, but sometimes, it'll happen.
You got to keep trying, man. Just keep at it.
Yeah. Pig Destroyer, if you're out there, you hear me out there. I try to get those guys every year, man,
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean,
they don't do a lot of shows.
no, they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they've ever been to Texas, honestly, or at least to Houston. If they
Yeah,
have, I
no,
missed it.
yeah. So, but
Well,
I wish I could have got like Insect Warfare before they. I'm more of a grindcore guy, so
yeah,
that's
yeah. Got your insect warfare right
yeah.
here.
There you go. There
I
you
told
go.
you, man. I told you the guitarist and drummer have Malignant Altar. So if you liked
Yeah,
Insect
yeah,
Warfare, you can. Malignant Altar are fucking amazing. They're not
yeah.
as grindy. They're
I
more death, but
Yeah. I actually checked them out, but then I was at that time everything
yeah,
after I checked them out, everything started falling apart.
right. Yeah,
My buddy Keister Vince Neil, I'd love to get Vince Neil, for sure. I don't even care if he's 200 pounds overweight. I'd love to have Vince Neil. Are you kidding me? Shit.
uh, Mr. Bungle, yes.
Yeah,
Ozzy,
yeah. Oh man.
if you could get Mr. Bungle, if you can get any Mike Patton band to play Full Terror Assault, I think Dead Cross might be a little. Well, Mr. Bungle, they're trying to do grindcore now. They're going back to it.
I almost had Dead Cross. I think FTA 2 or 3, to be honest with you, but it just
Okay.
didn't happen. I put an offer in for him, but it didn't happen.
If you could get Mike Patton at Full Terror Assault, even if he's just on stage farting into a microphone.
Well, maybe somebody out there knows him. You can convince him to come.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He's not he keeps a pretty small circle, so I don't know. Yeah, anybody knows Mike, tell him. Yeah, I mean, like Dead Cross, it wouldn't just be Mike, you'd have Dave Lombardo on drums,
Steel Panther, yeah. Taylor, yeah. The funny thing is, I put an offer in for Steel Panther, straight up. Another funny story about Steel Panther is before they were actually Steel Panther, the guitar player and the singer was in a Van Halen tribute band called the Atomic Punks, and they played my wedding reception.
No shit.
Straight up, yeah. Kevin Minson, you were there,
Taylor, Taylor,
Huh?
get out of here with that shit, Taylor. Come on. Led Zeppelin. Come on. Oh yeah, that's true. You were able to manage Hunt Down Violence.
Yeah.
That was freaking killer. That was killer.
Yeah.
So yeah, Razor, Razor would be perfect. Yeah, they're starting to play some shows. So there's all kinds of bands out there, man.
I don't think people understand. I mean, the one thing that I look through a lot of these things. I mean, I put so many offers in for so many bands, man. It's just it all comes down to what's available and what can be afforded. So I mean, we've got a pretty good history. We know what we can do is taking a little bit of risk with certain things. You know what I mean? But like I say, if everybody wants, I'd love to make FTA. The one thing about cool about it is that it's real diverse. You've got a little bit of everything down there. We've had some, we had some, rock bands like Nashville Pussy Against the Grain. We've had, thrash bands, death bands, grind bands, hardcore bands. I'd love to make it, even more. I'd love to have like Steel Panther, even some, some cool freaking. I'm an '80s rocker, man. I'd love to have, whoever put Vince Neil up there. I'd love to have Vince Neil, man. Are you kidding me? So. But I'd love to make it like Hellfest is really cool like that. There's even like the punk stuff, like the Circle Jerks and Black Flag and all that cool shit. But I mean, the more you can kind of get all those different things in. The problem is that with the FTA thing is that you got to take your risks. You can't throw too many wild cards in there every year. I'd like to, but if one mistake and it's over, it's done. So
yeah,
I'll be eating ramen noodles and mac and cheese for the next 10 years.
Hey, that's okay. I do that for fun. So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Hank 3, the funny thing about Hank 3, Matty, I've tried to get him twice now. Same agent as Overkill, but I don't think the guy's doing that many shows anymore. So Dangerous Toys.
DRI, they're a Houston band.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
I've tried to get those guys too. They're always around on tour about the same time, but just could never make it happen.
Yeah.
one year, one year we'll make that happen as well. But there's so many killer bands out there. I try to not duplicate bands every year. I mean, it's hard at times because
Right.
I like bands, even the mid tiers or the whatever you want to call them, whatever. I like the bands that are that are hustlers, man, that are hungry, that really come out, and make a showing, and they're on the social medias and helping me and everybody else, all about it. That's what I like. So there's been a number of bands like that have been back a number of times.
Dead Horse, Tony. So speaking of Houston bands, you brought up Dead Horse.
I
Dead Horse is not gonna. Dead Horse is
No,
not gonna
as a
play.
matter of fact, I've talked to. Well, I think the guy's name is Argo. I tried to get them FTA too.
Yeah, Argo. He sang for him
Yeah.
recently. Yeah, yeah. I think he was singing for him probably when FTA happened. But yeah, it's Dead Horse would be sweet, but
Yeah.
not the same without the original singer who left like in '94.
Yeah.
It's like so.
Yeah, but I tried to get those guys, I think, once or twice. So Cattle Decapitation. Yeah, I'd love to have them as well. So
Yeah, I mean,
that was one of the bands I was thinking about. If FTA this year was going to happen, I was going to reach out to and try to get. But it's just it sooner or later all these bands will play. I would imagine at some point. I mean, I love all of them. I mean, how cool would it be to have like freaking Steel Panther and Cattle down there, right? That'd be awesome.
that would be sweet. That'd be sweet. Or you can get somebody like Ailstorm or Rumahoy is like the budget version of Ailstorm.
Yeah. Oh, looks like Lewis, the art guy, is signed in. The guy who does all the FTA posters and stuff.
Where is he at?
Lewis Sinden, the Louise or Lewis, yeah.
I'm not seeing it here.
He's just So that guy, man, he's like I say, all the artwork. I really thought the artwork this year was probably the best, one of the best ones of all the years. So
let me ask you about that. Did you already make merchandise?
No.
Okay.
Usually we don't. Yeah. But he'll usually what happens is But usually, if anybody out there needs any shirts or posters or anything, definitely look at that guy, the guy who does all the FTA work. I mean, the guy's just super good dude in a grindcore band. Check out his band as well. I mean, maybe not, maybe next year or the year after or whatever. But I'd love to get him to come over and have his band play and bring all this artwork and stuff over because the guy's just phenomenal. So
where's he located?
He's in Spain.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we always put a link up and stuff like that. But I mean, you can see all the FTA, all the shirts, all the posters, everything. He does it all, man. Super good dude. So anybody who needs any artwork, definitely look him up, man. Super good guy.
Well, it's definitely
straight up
sweet stuff.
Straight up underground dude for sure.
Very cool. So, well, yeah. I mean, I saw some people were like, sell some, shirts. I know other festivals, Vakken sold some shirts. Like I bought a ticket, but all I got was just shirt. But they didn't send them out. People bought them,
Right.
So that might be something. Like if I know bands, I know some artists that have done this. So they don't lose money on it. Is they'll take pre-orders. So
right.
If people want like a Full Terror Assault 2020, I bought a ticket, but all I got was a shirt. Maybe do something like that for a pre-order.
Yeah, we might do something like that. Maybe have Lewis design something cool and make it.
I would totally buy one.
Yeah, that's cool. I appreciate that. I would. Me personally, I would rather you take the $20 or $25 and add a little more to it and buy a ticket. Bring a newbie.
Bring a newbie. Yeah.
I mean that's that.
You know what, Joey? I'm gonna fucking do that. Anybody in Houston that wants to go with me, or they don't have to be in Houston. I can pick your ass up on the way. If you want to go with me to Full Terror Assault next year, 2021, I will buy you. What is it? A 4-day ticket? I'll get you a 4-day ticket. How about that?
Well, there you go.
Just just show me that you're subscribed to my YouTube. You're following my Twitter. You're following the Instagram. You like the Facebook page. That's all. That's free. It's free. Just do that. Send me an email, and I'll pick your ass up. We'll go have a good time.
Taylor says have rat play. I'd love to have rat play. It looks like they probably got the same freaking iPod playlist as I do. That's funny.
I think Wasp is getting out there. You can get them.
Yeah, all that.
It's endless. It's endless. And after this year, Kevin is like, I'll go with you. I'm not gonna. Is Kevin up in Chicago or is he up in your town?
Kevin, he's about 35, 40 minutes from my house.
Yeah, so that doesn't make any damn sense. But hey, Kevin, I don't know if you saw last time. I've got you on my skateboard right here. Right here. So this is the same picture. It's the same damn picture. He has this his profile picture.
That's what's on his driver's license.
Is it really? No shit.
I don't know. Probably not. Who knows?
That's hilarious. He's a funny dude, man. He's a funny dude. I enjoyed meeting your bandmates at FTA last year. I enjoyed meeting almost everybody last year. It was such a great time. Everyone was pretty cool. So
yeah, I mean, it's still a small festival. Like I said, when I first started, I thought, man, it'd be great to have 10,000 people show up to this thing at some point, but it's like, I need about, if I could get 3,000 to 5,000 people, but you always tell people, bring a friend, but only the cool ones, you know what I mean?
Only the cool ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't bring it's kind of like our little club down there, so to speak,
Wait, I just saw this from Smash Potato.
They're so
funny.
Good. Yeah, those guys are good dudes too.
Nice. Well, shit, man. Is there any other news that you wanted to break out? Like, I think you answered it pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, that's really about it, man. Like I say, I'd love to continue, but I just the votes don't lie, the numbers don't lie. I think a lot of people just want to postpone it, and obviously we'll try to get Exodus and Guar back next year. I'm just tossing around the idea of changing the date, so I would appreciate everybody to have their input on what they thought about changing the date to June. Couple different reasons behind it, but I think it'd be a year away instead of 15 months. So I don't know if there ever was a chance to change the date. Now's the time, because this year's is a wash. So
yeah,
but like I say, just give it some time. Give us some time to figure out the whole procedure on Eventbrite there to roll it over. And I would really appreciate if everybody, like I say, every year for us, we don't know how the pre-sales are going to go, and we don't know how many people are, because we knew last year was such a positive vibe at the end of it. We don't, we had such a good feeling that, man, we really think this year is going to be such a good year. Then, everybody, there's always those hardcore freaking FTA lifers, man, that they don't care though. They don't care who shows up. They still want to come down, and, very appreciated. So if everybody could just hang on to your tickets, and roll it over to next year, it'd be so cool to start with this ticket amount right now. And hey, Darren, and just roll those over. And man, we're starting right now. Hey, Tony, what's up, buddy? Just roll them over and hang on to them, and we're going to deliver a killer lineup. Like I say, it took all this time to get to the point to get Exodus and Guar. We're moving forward, man. It's gonna just only get bigger and better. So if everybody can just hang with us for 1 year, it'd be great. Much appreciated.
Well, I plan on being there without a doubt. Yeah. So I'm just checking up on my personal, because I asked people to. It says there's 29 comments, but I only see. I was asking people to comment on either the Facebook page or on the YouTube, because on my personal page I'm only seeing, it says 29 comments, but I can only see a few. So I don't. Angel Hinton says end of September she would be down.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't know that Vakken was at the end of July. And Andy Beam's definitely not into July because of Vakken. And Mark Picton wants a quarterly fest, so that's too much.
He wants what?
A quarterly festival.
I don't think I could barely handle one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a big thing, man. It's
Yeah,
a big deal.
I work a full-time job too. This isn't like my day job, so to speak.
Right.
So,
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
but it's rough.
well, better to make the best decision now instead of and to err on the side of safety. I believe.
Yeah.
So I ain't mad. I'll be there next year.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna be mad. I think everybody's.
I got some angry reacts. So somebody's mad. Dustin Dubuque gave me the angry react.
Yeah, I think Dustin's been there. I don't know all 5 years, but I know he's been there quite a few years. I mean, I to the point where I know these names by I can almost look at the name and say, yeah, they've been there 5 years, or 3 years, or whatever. So it's that type of a group. You know what I mean? For sure.
Andrew asks, will bands be able to submit again for next year?
Yeah, what we'll do is obviously give it a hot second here and see how everything kind of pans out with the craziness. But the bands that were already going to play, they'll be coming back hopefully, depending on what they've got going on. And then I'd like to make it bigger and better. I'd like if we could really like I say, take all these tickets and move into next year, and people keep buying tickets, and we get to a certain point, I might be able to even have like a third stage, like the first year. I think the first year we had 3 stages, but the problem was, it was you don't want to disperse the crowd too much. But I'm thinking, if we get more of a turnout, an even bigger turnout, we can start expanding a little bit. And there's so many bands that want to play. I mean, there's just everybody's, just wants to come out and play, which, try to give everybody a chance, at some point to come out here and play. So, it's just one of those things. Is just you gotta build it. You know what I mean? It takes time.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, we'll set this poll up here for the date change, and I would really appreciate to get everybody's feedback on that, what they thought, So, I mean, I hate to, change the date. And some of the people that have been here for all 5 years and were even coming this year, they couldn't make it because of a date change. I don't know. It's just one of those ideas I've been kind of tossing around. So,
what is what's his name? Hog Rock Tim? Have you talked to him? Have you talked to him about maybe doing it in June instead of September next year?
Yeah. I mean, me and Tim, man, we're partners, man. He's my partner in crime. I mean, that guy, he's my mentor. That guy's he's been doing his hog rock thing for 25 years next year. 25 years, and I met that guy. I met him in just a quick backstory. People might even not even realize how all this even started. You know what I mean? But I met Tim in 2012. I was in a rock band, and a buddy of mine had seen that whole hog rock rally on the Art Man show, and he's like, "Oh man, you gotta take your band down there, and you gotta play that show. It's crazy down there, So I hit Tim up, on email, and he responded. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'd love to have you down here." And that was my, from my house to there, it's like 5 hours, so it's a little bit of a haul. But we went down there, and as soon as we pulled in, and started driving around, I was like, "Holy shit, man! This place would be killer for like a big, like, open air, metal show, because at the time, you know, I was doing two different bands. I was in the grindcore band and doing my rock band as well. But you know, I drove around. I was like, holy shit, man, this place is just like, you know, total. The vibe and everything was so freaking cool. And Tim, you know, at the time, you know, he's gosh, that's been 8 years ago now. You know, and I kind of pitched to I kind of thought about it and I pitched it to him the next year about doing it, and he was, you know, interested, and I kind of let it simmer for a year or two thinking about it, and then finally I just, you know, I'm gonna give this a shot, you know. So that guy, man, he's been nothing but, you know, he's just an awesome dude. I can't say enough about Hog Daddy Tim. So
Hog Daddy Tim.
yeah, I mean, super good dude, super good dude. Well, I mean, truth be told, man, there would be no FTA, there would be no full terror assault without that guy. So anybody who's been down there for 5 years and they know and they've seen Tim, I mean, they really need. I mean, you know, they can say whatever they want to about, oh man, you know, this is, you know, your deal, whatever. Nah, man, you need to go shake that guy's hand, because that guy, he's the reason there is an FTA. Without him, there'd be no festival down there on his campgrounds. I mean, he's just you know, I don't think people realize, and that, you know, people, the metalhead, man, the metalheads, they don't, you know, a lot of people sleep on this thing. Like I don't know what the deal is, but they don't realize how lucky, you know, we are to have a facility like that to really do FTA down there. I mean, it's really, you're not going to find something like this, you know, somewhere where you can go and you know, the campgrounds are, the people, they can chime in here too that's been there. I mean, the campgrounds are awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just amazing, and they're well kept. And you know, the staff down there, I mean, they're super friendly, and we've got ice down there. You know, we've got electricity. You know, I mean, in BYOB. I mean, where else? I mean, you go to any other festival out there, you know, you know, you're paying freaking 3 times as much for a ticket, and you're paying $12 for you know, a tall boy, for crying out
Yeah.
loud. At the end of the day, you're spending more money on on booze than you are to see a show. You know, it's just it's maddening. But when you get down there and you see people walking around, you know, carrying, you know, towing around a cooler, you know, it's a beautiful thing, Rob.
It's cool. It was cool. It was really cool.
And you know, there's no attitudes down there. That's why I said, I you know, that's why I always say, invite your friends, but only the cool ones.
Only
If
the
you know
cool
some
ones.
people that are in the metal and they like to party and they can control themselves.
Right.
That's what we're looking for. If you people that can't handle what's going on, stay at home. We don't want you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I saw people, you know, that were a little drunk. Maybe some people taking a little nap here and there, but I didn't see anybody getting belligerent or angry or, you know, anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, you know, I think that you know, and I don't know what's going to happen next year with all the venues and stuff like that. You know, a lot of different rules and stuff like that. You know, you can't do this and you can't do that. You can't, you know, whatever. You can't mosh or whatever. You know, I mean, we're pretty, you know, down at FTA, man. It's, you know, it's definitely a thanks, bud. It's definitely a, you know, a scene that I think that people need to come and experience. I really do. I don't think that, you know, what's this?
yeah.
Yeah, but seriously, I mean, anybody who goes down there who's seen Hog Daddy Tim down there, you know, like I say, man, you really need to thank that guy, because I mean, he's something else for sure. So
Very, very cool. Well,
yeah.
I'll definitely you know, fill out your survey, the next survey that you guys send out. I never got the survey. I got the survey from Osley on Messenger. I didn't get it in the email. The only email I got was the announcement.
Yeah, there was some other people that chimed in as well on my emails that they didn't get it, but there was enough. I mean, there was enough votes I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I knew within 24 hours what the answer was. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely. So when you send out, when you send out the next one, because you did like a
yeah.
Google Forms,
Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely weigh in June or September or whatever. But I would definitely look at those dates for those other festivals in Europe that they have planned next
Yeah.
year.
Zachary was just asking, "Are you sure it's canceled?" Yeah, man, I'm sure it's canceled. It's. I would call it postponed. To be honest with you, I mean, we're gonna push it back. Hopefully, hopefully it comes back in June. Maybe everybody decides to have it in June. We see everybody in 12 months rather than 15. So,
Yeah,
but you know, like I say, I can understand. I can understand both points of view. The 40% or whatever it was that postponed it, rather than, maybe they've got some concerns with everything's going on, as far as health wise or whatever, traveling, a little bit concerned, and I can understand the people like myself that want to, just have it and push forward, but it doesn't make sense. I think everybody realizes
yeah.
that.
Well, Ben, okay. So we talked a little bit about maybe making some new shirts. You still have some old shirts. You were kind of trying to get some of the older shirts a little
Yeah,
while ago.
I've got some. Matter of fact, I've got some stuff that already sold that I got to find time to mail out. So whoever bought a shirt, just bear with me. I'll get it out. So it's hard to get to the post office when you don't get home till 5:30 at night. So bear
Yeah,
with me, people.
they'll pick it up. You can have them pick up stuff too
What for the post office?
at your house. They'll pick it up at your house. You can go online and schedule a pickup.
Yeah, but you got to have all the correct postage and all that stuff.
That's true. You
Yeah,
don't you don't have like a
no,
okay.
yeah,
Well, yeah. If you don't have that,
yeah, yeah. I'm not that technologically advanced over here quite
okay.
yet.
Well, there's a there's a service called pirateship.com
Yeah,
where you just put in the size of the package and you print out the labels. I got like a label maker. I was trying to do a subscription snack box, which completely bombed. But I learned about all that stuff, and yeah,
I'm
it's
reading. I'm reading some of the comments here. I hope that I know people put in their vacation time in advance. I hope it doesn't put too many people out. I know it's kind of a pain in the ass, but I'm sorry.
there you go.
You
Here's
know, I know Darren was chiming in there.
Ozzy Hellfest June 18th through 2021.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't going to happen that weekend any week
Yeah,
because that really because
there's
Father's
there
Day weekend.
there's where she spelled it right. She
Yeah.
realized she misspelled it, so she typed it again. Sorry, I put the wrong one up
If it was
there.
going to be next year, it'd be this weekend. It'd be it'd be the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. So basically, be right now. A year from right now. So, I mean, everybody think about it hard and see what we can come figure out.
So so
So
to,
I'm
so
just
to,
thinking that maybe there could be a chance of getting some bands that are coming through here on a package deal and stuff like that, and you're not competing with school and football and hurricane season and everything else. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So pros and cons, but we'll see what everybody says.
right on, dude.
So
Well, you still there?
I'm not sure if anybody's got any more. Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Hello.
Failure Records and tape says he's going with Zachary to Walmart. That's important. It's important that
Yeah,
people know that.
Matt, my main man, Matt. Appreciate
I
you,
bought,
buddy. Thank you.
I got one of those Facebook ads from Failure Records and Tapes that they had, and they were like, "Hey, we've got a sale on some records," and I was like, "Oh, I don't have that Stonecutters record. I'll
Yeah,
buy that."
yeah. Support that guy. He's all about FTA. I think he might have missed FTA one, but he's been there every year since. And he's
I,
every
I,
year wanting to get a little bit more involved with everything. And like I said, next year will be Failure Thursday, so Matt will have his choice of bands and stuff like that.
and I remember last year you gave me the VIP. I got the VIP bag, and then I went by their table and I saw a Ringworm like 7-inch split, and I was like, "Oh, they're playing, right?" Yeah, I was like, "Okay, I'll take that." And then you were like, "Hey, Rob, I forgot to put something in your bag," and you gave me that split I just bought,
Yeah,
and um, I was like, I'm not going to get I don't want to ask him for my money back because, this is a, small record company, record label and shit. They need that money. So I was like, I'm going to give it away. So
Yeah.
that's what I did with that. So
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's the same attitude that everybody, so many people down there that at FTA had that same attitude, So that's
yeah,
what makes it work, for sure. So
because yeah, Ringworm put on a hell of a show. What's his name? Amish Mike? No, not Amish Mike. He's in the the mics have different names. Which one is in Ringworm? There's asshole Mike. There's which
I don't
one do
know.
you know?
I don't know. All I know is the one guy had a Van Halen 1984 tour shirt on that one, and that's pretty much all I remember.
That was probably Corns. I can't
Yeah.
remember. I know Amish Mike was the guy from Nashville and Gorgie. Okay, Mike Lair. Okay, Human Furnace is Ringworm singer. No, he was a guitar player.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The gravy chugging guy. The gravy chugging. The guy that was
Yeah. It's all for
Mike Lair. Okay, Mike
Yeah.
Lair. Fucking Mike fucking Lair. Someone yelled at me. Mike fucking Lair is in Ringworm and he likes to chug gravy. There we go.
Well, see, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know. When I get down there, man, it's like I have like maybe 2 hours of sleep a night, so I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
by the time it's over, it takes me about 2 weeks to recuperate. So sometimes names and faces and stuff, I just kind of get lost in it. But
I get it, man. I get it.
Anyway, I appreciate you having me on, Rob, for sure.
Thank you. No, I appreciate you for giving me this exclusive. And it was super cool. You sent out the link to my Facebook on that email. That was huge. I know Ghost Cult Magazine gave me some shout outs.
That's
and
great, man.
Those guys are pretty big. So I appreciate all that, man. I really do.
I mean, like I said, for me, like last year when you hit me up for the credentials, and I kind of, dragging my feet, and all of a sudden, next thing I know, the guy bought a VIP pass. I'm like, man, this guy's fucking all right. I mean, he ain't fucking around. So I mean, shit like that, I really appreciate stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then, same as that you were coming back this year. So anything I can do to help you, just let me know for sure.
I appreciate that. We'll talk to those Liquid Death people for me. That's what I want to know. Because this is like, I've got to the point on YouTube where I can get my videos monetized and I can get like a little kickback from that.
Yeah.
I can choose whether or not to put that on a video. So like I went to a barbecue restaurant last week and I put that video up and I made sure to take the monetization off of that. So no weird ads could pop up because I've seen some weird ads.
Right.
So I'm not going to put it up on this one. I'll keep monetization off of this and the weird ads I really don't like. I'm not getting enough money from YouTube to make it worth my while. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would like some sort of real sponsorship to make it worth me taking the ads off.
All I can say is maybe try to reach out to them. They didn't have anybody down there represent, but I can say this about Liquid Death: they were real cool to work with, man. They were like, one of the few people that just kind of jumped on it right from the get go, and hey, this year we'll do this, and then we'll talk about next year, and everything they said they were going to do, they came through with. I mean, everybody, go support those guys as well. You know what I mean? And and Nuclear Blast as well. Nuclear Blast has been with the the FTA crew for I think 4 years. I mean, I'm obviously this year, with everything that happened, was kind of not sure if it was going to happen anyway, but they've been there too for us as well. So, and everybody, I just want to say too, everybody who's bought tickets, all the, we had all these different tier groups this year, and the people, we had, I think the first tier was called the fucking lifers and still hardcore or whatever. But I mean, we came out this year, and the people that bought the tickets, everybody who's bought, I think somebody just bought a ticket today, for crying out loud, not even knowing what was going to happen. They bought a couple tickets. So, if I always say this: the more people that get behind it, buying the tickets, the bigger the bands we can have, the more acts we can have, and it can grow. But I mean, the people that buy early every year, I mean, man, much appreciated, because I don't think that anybody really can understand that, without those, that knowing that, hey, we've got a pretty good group of some lifers here, that they don't give a shit who's playing. You can always count on X amount of tickets right out of the gate, and that really kind of sets the pace for how to start looking at what bands to get, and what kind of a gamble can we take to get the best bands down there. Because I mean, we want, it's all about the atmosphere down there and hanging out and partying and meeting new people, but we want to put together the best lineup we can put together. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are going to show up, whether it's we have Vince Neil down there, whoever else, but there's a lot of people that that maybe haven't been there, that they're waiting for a Guar and Exodus to show up, like, maybe that's the lineups definitely solid, we'll go down this year and check it out. So the people that buy the tickets in advance allow us to make those decisions to spend a little bit more and take some gambles and get those bigger acts. So, keep buying the tickets early, roll them over, and like I say, bring your friends, but only the cool ones.
Only the cool ones.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
Well, right on. Well, can you type in the chat your PayPal, how people can send you money if they want to buy a shirt or buy a ticket for next year or anything, or should they just go to the Eventbrite or?
Yeah, there's yeah, type that in here. Give me 1 second. Well, okay. You just go to Full Terror Assault. Let me see here.
So Kevin says he's got a legit ad sponsor for me. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what kind of legit ad sponsor.
Who knows, man? Could be.
Zach is gonna book me for an episode in 2 days with a big announcement. I'm actually busy in 2 days. I got other stuff going on.
So you know what? I just was able to scroll over here and
okay, there's the.
Yeah, I was able now to get the. Yeah, I was able now to just. I don't know what happened. It just came up with all the live feed. I just figured it out right at the end, Rob. There's the link for the tickets and the passes and upgrades, and or like I say, the RIPs, and the TPs are completely sold out. So the VIPs are some left, and there was a number of people that were emailing me even today saying, hey man, we're going to buy 4 more tickets and a VIP. Well, I would encourage everybody just to, we're going to hold that price, just keep buying tickets, man. Let's rack up and as many people we can get down there to party next year. Let's make it huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And last year, I mean, there were a good number of people there, but there was still plenty of room for so many more. Many more. So I'm excited, man. It's gonna be a big party next year. I think people are gonna be really ready to party next year. With all the stuff that's going on this year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so as well, for sure. So we need to be able to donate. Yes, I appreciate that, Erica. I mean, I'm one of those guys, man. To donate something, I feel like you should get something. So maybe just buy a ticket or something. I don't want to just take a donation just out of the blue for something, because I mean, quite honestly, it's not like we it was a little bit different situation.
It's okay. It's our
situation as far as we didn't have a bunch of money that we lost in airfare tickets or something like that. So we were able to, we're out a bunch of time, some advertising and stuff like that. So if you're gonna donate something, buy a ticket for somebody, or share the post and help us out in that regard. So, and we still have some merch left over. We got patches and pins and shirts, so we can do something. We'll figure something out. I appreciate it though.
Awesome.
But
awesome. Well, Joey, thank you so much for coming on and talking with everybody. I hope everybody's questions were answered. Kevin said he's going to DM me about that sponsor. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Yeah, copy me on that for sure. But anyway, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you, Rob. Thanks for tuning in. Like I say, we'll make some posts here in the next couple of days as far as the refund stuff. Give us a little bit of time to figure that out, or I should say the rollover. Hopefully, everybody roll over, and the poll as far as changing the date. So it'll be interesting to get everybody's response for that too. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you, buddy.
Awesome. All right. Well, if there are any more updates, just let me know.
Yeah, for sure, man. I like I said, I appreciate your time on here. I know you do a lot of stuff to help bands out and stuff like that, and anything else comes up, we'll definitely hit you up. Maybe we can do another one of these soon. It's fun, dude, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Oh, look at that. This is so nice. Thanks, Darren.
Darren, yeah, he's been there every year. That guy from Arizona that comes out every single year.
Oh yeah, big crew from Arizona.
Yeah, he goes all over the place to watch metal shows. It's super, super good dude. So
cool. All right, man. Well, thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon. And I was asking about your PayPal. I'm gonna send you. I think I'll be able to find it because I want to get some of those shirts and stuff. So, and I need to get that ticket.
We can post. We can post. I mean, we'll post a link for the shirts. What we got left as far as sizes and stuff like that. Because I had made a post about a week ago and I sold some. And like I said, I'm kind of slow getting those out here. I got to get them this weekend. But there's patches and patches and pins and stuff like that. I'm not one to take just donations out of the blue for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not the
I hope you make those special shirts, man. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll see if we can make something cool. Like I say, our art guy, that dude's, he'll come up with something clever, for sure. So he does all the stuff that he does is basically, his ideas. I think I gave him an idea for year one, and other than that, he's done it all. So
awesome.
So, but no, I think that's really kind of everything I wanted to say. Thanks to everybody. But other than that, I guess if we can talk again. Maybe hopefully, later this year and find out how we're moving forward. So
nice. Sounds good.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate it, Rob. Keep in contact, all right, bro?
All right, thank you.
Anybody's got any questions or whatever or comments, they can go to the Facebook page or send us an email, and we'll get back to you. But I really appreciate everybody who's bought tickets and everybody who's going to roll their ticket over. Just want to say thanks again for everything. I appreciate it. So, all right.
Later, man. All right, everybody. That was Joey B from Full Terror Assault Open Air. You got it here exclusively. The festival will be postponed to next year. All the cancellations and health issues, and just the fact that there are no tours anywhere really killed it this year. So it is what it is, as they say. Everyone be safe out there. I'm in the Houston area, and I don't know what the news is like everywhere else, but down here, our hospitals are at capacity, and it's pretty bad. So if you don't need to go out, try to stay in and try to be safe and all that stuff. So you can party next year. Okay. Guess that's it. I'm going to buy a ticket for somebody to go with me next year. Somebody cool. So to be cool, you got to follow the Twitter, follow the Instagram, like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube. And if I am not reciprocating that, leave a comment. Tell me, hey man, follow me back, and I will. I've been getting a lot of ads, so it's kind of hard to keep up with like who's legit, and there's some fake like Russian bots out there. So I want to be cool and follow people back. I'm gonna kick him from the studio. All right. So don't have anything scheduled right now. I have been in talks with a couple other bands that just got signed to a label. I'm going to have them come on soon. One's in Canada and one is in somewhere else in the world. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You'll hear about them when you hear about them. Um, be safe. I'm going to do some more food videos here. Yeah, guys, just be safe out there. And until next time, keep it epic. Bleh.